As dumb as it sounds, it worked, right?
Yeah, I hated it though.
Yeah.
I hated pounding the pavement and walking in with my donuts and my rate sheets, but it worked. Everyone would be like, "Oh, Barry's here. You know, what did you bring?" Blah blah blah. It was like Christmas morning.
But it was
every time you walk in
showing
there.
up to a fixed homecoming date that you're like, oh God, I have to do this because I don't know. I think you're similar to me. I'm people of crowd averse. Like
I'm very antisocial.
And not antisocial. Like I hate people, uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you had to show up and okay, let me get over that hump. You're here. I'm just hi. I'm so and so. One of the worst stories I remember is driving around after church, and I went to all these Dunkin' Donuts, get up Munchkin boxes, right? And I was crashing these open houses that realtors didn't expect me to come. It's great to crash one where there's another mortgage broker there with all his marketing material there.
Yeah.
So I had to be like, you already got a date, type of thing. Right?
You already got a date.
So if there's anything that's cringeworthy to me, that was really cringeworthy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I remember after my son was born, when was he born? 1999. And my wife and I, we would just make flyers. Hey, do you need a mortgage? And it was just folding them up and putting them under windshield wipers. Yeah. Can you imagine if you got that now? You'd be like, what is this crap?
It's like,
right?
or it's almost like we buy houses.
Yes.
Or we paint houses. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
But you did what you did, right?
You did what you did, and it worked.
It worked. Yeah. So
it's crazy that worked.
You just.
I got this flyer under my windshield. I'm going to call this guy.
And back then, what was compliance? Did you had your name and phone number? It didn't say your mortgage license. Didn't have anything. Because there was no one to tell you what you're supposed to do.
Right.
What is it? MLS number. What is that? I couldn't tell you what mine was back then at all.
No.
Type of thing. But that's interesting. You say that's what you did. One of the best things that I did. I got in the business in the summer of 2000 officially. I was floating around in that, and if you remember, that's when I mentioned the rates were in the high 8s, but they started coming down if you can get in the 7s, right? And so January and all that up until September 9/11. From my previous career as a trader, I realized after 9/11, rates were tanking. So I knew that the people who got a loan from January until September thought they got a great rate because it's much lower. I went and bought this database of loans from 300,000 to whatever, a million, and thousands and thousands. And like you said, I had a little kid help me sign my name. It was a written opportunity for the affluent homeowner, and it was hand signed with a card, and it sent out, and it just exploded my business.
Yeah.
Because I offered the free refinance. Is what it did, because the loans were big enough.
Nobody did that back then.
But that's the same thing if you fly or some cars, and that type of stuff worked.